and toppings. My name is Steph Wagner. I'm a registered dietitian and I blog at www.foodcoach.me. The first recipe in the three-part series was an avocado salsa. Delicious, and I served it over a cilantro lime chicken. Be sure to check that one out. Last week was number 2, and it was a homemade hummus, and it required no oil and it yielded quite a bit, so really good as far as cost savings. Today is the third recipe, and it's going to be the final of our three-part series. It's not going to be the last time I make a recipe for dips and toppings, but it will for the sake of this segment. And it's going to be a very quick and easy pesto. We'll call it Presto Pesto. So it requires 5 ingredients. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'll show you those ingredients. And the first one is the star of the show, and that is going to be fresh basil. I have one good bunch here, just one container of basil would be fine. It's okay if the leaves are a little bit wilted. Mine are, and that's going to be absolutely fine. Then we'll have 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. I have 2 teaspoons of chopped garlic. I went ahead and just bought a jar of chopped garlic. It saves me on time. So 2 teaspoons would be the same as a couple cloves of garlic. A couple tablespoons of chopped walnuts. You won't necessarily have the texture of the walnuts, but it'll give it a little bit of a nutty flavor. And then you'll have 1/3 cup of a light Italian dressing. And this is really going to be the star of the show next to the basil to cream it all together. I'm going to be making mine in a magic bullet today. You could also use a food processor, or if you have a really nice blender. Even if it's a crappy blender, you could use that too. But you're going to start by putting the basil leaves in first. I'm going to go ahead and break off the ends here just with my hand. You could use kitchen shears if needed. And I'm going to put my leaves in first. Then I'm going to move into the dry ingredients and save the dressing for last. So if you have a food processor, same thing. If you have a blender, same thing. Start with the basil, Parmesan cheese, garlic, walnuts, and the Italian dressing. Now with the magic bullet, I'm going to screw the lid on top and give it a good shake. Now I'm going to put it in the base of the magic bullet. Whatever you're using, blender, food processor, or magic bullet, it'll probably take about 2 minutes. So go ahead and get it started and be patient. Alright, mine's starting to look nice and creamy. You can recognize that pesto color. It's got tiny flecks of the basil leaves, but it's got that nice green looking color. And this is going to yield about 1/2 cup of pesto, which is plenty. Pesto gives a lot of flavor. A little bit goes a long ways. So don't feel like you have to make a really big quantity. And the possibilities of how to use your pesto really are endless. Your Presto Pesto. I've made it in an egg salad before. You take chopped hard-boiled eggs and mix your pesto in there, and that's it. Those ingredients, you have a really delicious lunch. I eat it on cucumber slices. You could also marinate chicken for about 20-30 minutes before you grill it, and that's one of my very favorite uses of pesto. You could also use it on fresh mozzarella and tomato slices for a really yummy summertime salad on the side. Less leaf and more just the veggies. So this is the finished product. Hopefully you can see it's got that nice creamy texture. A little bit of basil chunk in there, and like I said, those nuts are going to be not so much the texture, but you're going to get that nutty flavor within there. So that helps to bring in the basil, the nuts, the Italian dressing, the garlic, really good flavor in here. So that's it for our 3-part series on dips and toppings. I hope you've enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the other videos. And stay tuned, you never know what'll come next, but next week we'll have another recipe. Happy eating!